Hi, Tea Society. Welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out Mushi-Shi episode 10, and this one has a long title. It's what? The White Which Lives Within the Ink Stone? Yes? Anyway, interesting title. The contrast of like white with ink, the kind of white-black contrast there. Never fully know what the meaning of these titles are for these episodes until we get into them, but the last episode was so interesting in terms of the moral dilemma and this like back and forth of, can you decide if someone should sacrifice themselves for the greater good, and is sacrificing someone for the greater good actually the greater good? But I also feel like we're gonna have to loop back to the fact that we broke a rule, like Ginko did something he wasn't supposed to, so I feel like that's gonna be, we're gonna set that up for something. It has to be foreshadowing of some kind, because it feels like he's cutting some corners a few times now in these episodes. I don't know when that's gonna come back, if it will come back, but I feel like maybe it should. In 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, we're starting with the opener again. Keeping me on my toes. Is this how we're gonna start off or not? Are we gonna switch openers around the like 13, 14 episode mark? Halfway mark? No idea. I'm asking like rhetorically. I'm asking like anyone can respond to that in real time. Sometimes I'm humbled by the fact that I am in fact just talking to myself in a room by myself. You know? Eventually it'll be for someone. I'm very interested in this title, though. Are we gonna maybe do something with, like, calligraphy? Inkstone? Or is it ink just in reference to the color? I don't know. I'm reminded many times while going through the series that my knowledge of, like, Japanese, like, folklore and kind of like, I don't know, like basic kind of knowledge of, you know, those kind of like belief systems or I don't know the right wording. You know what I mean? Like little kind of like cultural things I just don't know about. You know, on account of not being Japanese. Hello, barred window. And creature in a jar. Oddities? A healer, perhaps? Is that the ink stone? It's a dark stone. I'm assuming an inkstone is used in like calligraphy, but I may just be showing my ignorance. Stark edit there. Someone sick? Seems like we have a healer of some kind. I was gonna say, is it the guy that we met before that was like friends with Ginko? I like that he has like a monocle. Ooh. Yes. Gonna have to call a friend. There he is. Unless he's already on the way. Who knows? Cute. Just like having friends. Off limit zone. I think it's interesting now that it's uh a little more like episodic, right? Like we're kind of like bringing things back from previous episodes. Interesting to have a fossil of a Mushi. Yeah, I was gonna say like a fossil implies like a physical body that could leave that print. I mean, he did kind of try to keep things away. It was a like locked shed with like bars on the window. Mm-hmm. That makes more sense to me. Uh-oh. Never inhale something. That's terrifying to be like frozen from the inside out, basically. What would be the point though? Why would you trap a mushi in an inkstone? What was the end goal? Yes, let's find the person who made it. I have questions. Yeah, probably best if you take it. Out of arm's reach of curious children. Aw, little hand though to be like, I understand that you feel regret about this, right? Just put out. Yes, I want to know like why trap Mushi? Also terrifying. Anything that looks like an abandoned hook, I'm just like, oof. I don't watch many scary movies, but I've seen enough clips to know that that's probably not a good thing. Is that why we quit? Were we making inkstones that were hurting people without like fully understanding why? Okay, but why did we make it? Oh, so we're on a time limit. We've traveled quite a far way, though. Oh, I think I'm starting to understand why we might have quit. Did we trap the Mushi by accident, or was it like I want to make something special to like save the business? Or was it just like something that was already trapped in the stone? Was it just like a stone that happened to have a Mushi trapped in it? Oh dear. Okay, we inhaled it though. We're still alive. Uh-oh. Got images of coldness again. Oh, she's so hopeful. Like, I feel like this is not gonna go well because we said 3 people. Yeah. That's so terrifying. Like, again, frozen from the inside out. Yeah, that's hard. If it was like, like a pawn shop, it could be anywhere. And the guilt. I love the way that you could see like the lines like around his eyes and then they fade before he speaks. Like the emotion there while she's telling her story. And then he switches back when he's kind of like back into character. Why is she fine though? I mean, she was able to see the Mushi. So maybe that is part of it. Or like she crafted it. Mm-hmm. The warning to like be careful, right? If you're gonna be messing with Mushi and like the supernatural, to like be careful, cautious. It's not just like oddities for you to collect, it's like things that are actually powerful and can impact people. Yeah, I was gonna say I love the like cloud imagery while talking about it. Oh, okay. Yeah, the water. We're dealing with like hail and snow. There's a lot of water inside the human body, so get it to like the upper atmosphere? Maybe like clouds? It's a long way to take the ill though. It's a long way to go too. And think of that too, like the higher you get, the thinner the atmosphere too. It's a bit of a hypothesis too. Like I know he probably knows better than most, but still. We didn't bring any masks or anything? Dang. Big boy. Again, probably because like the water in the human body, right? Feeling better? Relieved. Oh, especially her. Tagane? Is that her name? Uh, but also like, how do you do with the fact that like you could have saved people? Right? Like her dad and her fiance? I get the air pressure thing though. But it worked out this time. Is the mushi still in the stone though? We're gonna like keep it with us or get rid of it or like if we break it, does that just release the mushi in it? Boy, it is a problem. Did we not learn caution from this? Oh, sometimes you gotta destroy beautiful things for the sake of safety. Yeah, you also can't destroy the guilt. Yeah, I was gonna say, you gotta take some responsibility. You can, I mean, maybe able to still use the stone if you just get rid of the mushi, right? Smug look. Ooh, and released to the water? It belongs with the towering clouds of the horizon. See, thank you for the masks. This time I was like, we wouldn't bring masks when we knew that that was going to be an issue. I want to go on a bit of a hike just in case, though. I'd be paranoid. Still seems a little reckless. Do we know that no one else is around? No more curious children? I'm just paranoid, you know? Oof. Had that crazy weather day. Oh. Careful. Just making treats. You already have one. Yeah, we need to learn a lesson of maybe we don't use items or keep items that have mushi trapped in them. Maybe curiosities are more dangerous than just curiosities. It's been trapped a long time. Ooh. Interesting, like another like force of nature mushi. I think it's really interesting that we're having like callbacks to other things. I know it's not exactly a strict overarching plot, right? Like it's still very episodic in the way that they're telling stories. There's this ambiguous amount of time between each episode, right? Like it's difficult to gauge like how long the series has been or even what order it's necessarily in. So I know that it's like majority episodic, but I do think it's interesting to have the recurring characters. I thought it was interesting to introduce someone that Ginko just knew anyway, because we don't have anything about his past other than he's a Mushi-Shi and he's traveling. We don't really have much else about him, so it's interesting to have him connected to like other people like outside of the series, but also bringing back more of those moral questions and when it comes to Mushi and the way that people interact with them, right? Like the way that Mushi are used by people, and like in this case it was an accident to have this like mushi like trapped inside of the inkstone, but then kind of the collection of mushi related stuff, right, is like a different question. It's using them as oddities, like I was saying, like curiosities, when in fact they are like powerful creatures and you're dealing with things that are the supernatural. And I think it's interesting to have a callback partway through the episode to Ginko's like warning of remember that these aren't just trinkets, right? These aren't just little interesting baubles that you're collecting. These are things that are actually associated with things that you know are powerful, right? It's supernatural. You understand is not just like the legends and stories like around these items, that there's like actual facts behind it, right? Like you're friends with a Mushi-Shi, right? Like you know that some of this is real. So be cautious of how you use them, right? And I think that him being flippant in taking responsibility and be like, oh, it's like my inkstone and like I should be able to keep it, is only because nothing bad happened, right? Like him being like, oh, we know how to deal with it now. I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't change the fact that 3 children almost died because you had this item in your possession and you didn't safeguard it properly, which to some extent he did try. There were like bars on the window and everything, but still, like it was because he had it in the first place and didn't fully understand what it did, that 3 children almost died. So maybe a little more responsibility because of that. And it all loops back to Ginko saying Mushi are meant to be allowed to be free and exist and to not be like manipulated by people and used by people. All the way back to when we had the dewdrops on like the flowers and stuff, and the Mushi are like being used. And any time that it feels like Mushi are being like used or controlled or trapped, Ginko's always very much on the side of Mushi should be allowed to just exist as like natural forces, which I think is a really beautiful sentiment. And I think also just goes to what a lot of the series is of like nature and natural forces and the way that we're not supposed to control how nature exists. We're supposed to figure out a way to live in harmony with it. I think that's interesting, especially in contrast to, again, last episode of breaking the rules a little bit of nature and like resurrection and immortality and all that. We're gonna have to come back to that, right? Because we're breaking the natural laws, which is something that Ginko very much is usually opposed to in some way. So I think that's just like interesting to bring in, that there's like kind of these building blocks starting to come together as the series progresses. And maybe we'll not get to a point where it's like this huge kind of overarching plot moment, but I do think it's interesting to continue to build out the world and to keep referencing back to previous things. Every episode isn't happening like in a void from each other. There is like overlap and connections there, which just makes me more pulled in to the series. So I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click this playlist to go into my previous reactions, or you can subscribe to me next time and post a Mushi-Shi reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.